Welcome to the Healthy Body. Dr. Alex here. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and important subject: the science of sexual positions, and how the way you and your partner connect physically can influence a woman's pleasure and her ability to reach orgasm. Now, this isn't about gimmicks or unrealistic promises. This is about real research, studies that span decades, examining how different sexual positions affect arousal, intimacy, and orgasm in women. By the end of our time together today, you'll have a clear, science-backed understanding of why certain positions work better for many women, what common mistakes to avoid, and how small adjustments can make a big difference for both you and your partner. Why this matters. Many couples, especially those in long-term relationships, fall into familiar sexual routines. And let's be honest, routine can feel safe, comfortable, and reassuring. But over time, it can also become predictable. When intimacy becomes predictable, something interesting happens. The sense of novelty fades. And novelty, as the research tells us, is one of the most powerful ways to increase arousal and intensify orgasm. That doesn't mean you need to throw away the positions you love. It means you can build on them, adding small changes that reignite excitement and deepen connection. The first landmark study, 1978. Let's rewind to 1978, when one of the earliest large-scale studies on sexual positions and orgasm was published. Researchers surveyed married women. Most were white, college-educated, and in relationships for at least 2 years. They asked 3 simple but powerful questions. Number 1. Which sexual positions do you use? Number 2. How often do you use them? And number 3. Which positions lead to orgasm most reliably? The answers were revealing. The positions used most often were also the ones most likely to result in orgasm. At the top of the list, face-to-face with the man on top. In second place, face-to-face with the woman on top. In third, face-to-face lying on the side. After that came prone rear entry, where the woman lies face down, then sitting face-to-face, kneeling rear entry, and finally sitting rear entry. Even back then, the takeaway was clear. Positions that give more control, create better clitoral contact, and encourage intimacy tended to produce more consistent orgasms. Fast forward to modern times. Of course, the late 70s were a very different era. Sexual attitudes, communication, and relationship dynamics have evolved dramatically. So what about today? A more recent large-scale study gives us a fresh look at the topic. This one was conducted in the Czech Republic and involved over 20,000 participants, about 11,000 men and 9,000 women. Most were in relationships, college-educated, and in their 30s. On average, they had sex about 4 times per month. The researchers presented participants with illustrations of 13 common sexual positions. Some were focused on penetration, others on different types of intimacy. Participants rated each position for pleasure, and reported how often vaginal intercourse led to orgasm. The findings. Interestingly, the most commonly used positions hadn't changed much over time. Face-to-face with the man on top, face-to-face with the woman on top, and kneeling rear entry were still at the top. But here's the concerning part. 1 in 3 women reported that they did not reach orgasm from penetrative sex alone. That's much higher than the 12% figure that's often quoted in medical literature. Why such a big difference? One major reason is likely the lack of sufficient clitoral stimulation during intercourse. The role of clitoral stimulation. We know from decades of research that the majority of women require direct or indirect clitoral stimulation to reach orgasm. Penetration by itself is often not enough. Positions that don't naturally allow for this kind of stimulation, or that make it harder for a woman to adjust angles and movements, are less likely to produce orgasm. The Czech study found that among the women who did orgasm regularly, about a quarter of them reached orgasm in at least 3 out of every 4 encounters. These women were often a little older, suggesting they had a better understanding of their bodies and the confidence to communicate their needs. They also tended to have sex more often, and they preferred positions such as woman on top and sitting face-to-face. Kneeling rear entry was used less often by these women. Why woman on top and sitting face-to-face work? When a woman is on top, she has control over depth, angle, and rhythm. 3 key factors that allow her to adjust the stimulation to exactly what feels best. Sitting face to face offers similar benefits but adds something extra. Constant eye contact. This eye contact deepens emotional intimacy, which can in turn enhance physical pleasure. The power of novelty. Even if you already use these positions, a small change in angle, rhythm, or environment can refresh the experience. You might adjust the angle by placing a pillow under the hips. Switch the time of day or room where you're intimate. Play with lighting. Soft, dim light can create a different atmosphere. Alternate between slower, more sensual movements and faster, more intense ones. These small variations can reignite desire and keep your sexual connection exciting. Practical advice for couples. Number 1. Communicate openly. Talk to your partner about what feels good and what you'd like to try. This is not about criticism, it's about discovery. Number 2. Experiment gradually. Introduce one new position or variation at a time, so you can focus on the experience without feeling overwhelmed. Number 3. Prioritize clitoral stimulation. Even during penetrative sex, find ways to add direct or indirect clitoral contact, whether through your partner's hand, your own touch, or positioning. Number 4. Don't rush. Many women need extended arousal before orgasm is possible, so slow down, enjoy the moment, and let connection lead the way. The bottom line. There's no single correct way to have sex. The best position is the one that works for both of you, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. The research is clear. When women have more control over movement and stimulation, orgasm becomes more likely. And when couples communicate, experiment, and stay curious, they keep intimacy alive. Your pleasure matters. Your health matters. And your happiness matters. I'm Dr. Alex, and this has been The Healthy Body.